Hey folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of the Articulate Fly, and we're back with another Western North Carolina fishing report with Dale Collins at Tuckaseegee Fly Shop. How you doing, Dale?
Doing good, Marvin. Just enjoying this brief little heat wave we've got.
Yeah, it's going to be long enough, 4 or 5 days. I mean, down in the flatlands where I am, I mean, we're going to be at pretty much triple digits for the next 3 or 4.
Oh my goodness, I can't imagine seeing triple digits here in the mountains. Fortunately, we're topping out a few days here this week in the lower 90s, maybe mid 90s over towards Asheville. But I think by the weekend we'll start cooling back off.
Yeah, and so we were talking, right? I mean, luckily, and I'm not going to give you any grief for saying that June is cooler than May, because I think we know that's not true, right?
That ship sailed this year.
Yeah, so that's probably not a rule. That's just a hypothesis. But
right.
The good news is that, it's going to be just kind of a quick spike of heat. So hopefully things aren't going to heat up too much. What are you seeing up in the park, and what are you seeing down on the Tuck?
Yeah, our mornings, we're going to start out in the lower to mid 60s, and that's pretty nice. And then it's going to warm up quick, but then, by lunchtime, it's going to be pretty warm. So you kind of want to wrap up your fishing in that noon hour, or so. Start early, 7 o'clock kind of starts. But you're going to see some pop-up thunderstorms, come on the radar or look up in the sky and there's a dark cloud. And, it's a great thing to see, because that means that water is going to cool off, whether you're standing in it or, it's coming towards you. It's good things are coming. Obviously, you want to be careful and not get caught in a flash flood kind of situation. But for the most part, it's going to be a quick 5-minute shower, cool things off, then you're going to be back in business fishing again. So it's kind of a double-edged sword this time of year with these thunderstorms, but it's the saving grace that keeps the fishing going nonstop.
Yeah, and the good thing too, right, is that it's going to do 2 things. One, it's going to give you that terrestrial bite, right, when it rains. But then it's also, if it's been warm, the fish tend to get active when that little cool pulse of water comes downstream. Yeah,
exactly. And you starts raining, throw in some beetle patterns, some ant patterns, things like that. Certainly your hoppers, if it gets windy, then that's going to blow bugs into the water as well. So, a little shot of oxygen from rain falling into the water always helps the trout be a little happier in those afternoon hours for sure.
Yeah. And we're not at a point now where you're really kind of talking about your personal comfort, not to fish in the middle of the day. You're not getting close to 70 degrees, are you?
Lower elevation stuff, I think you need to be careful for sure. But higher elevation stuff, I think you're okay. Above 3,000 feet, I think you're probably fine. But lower elevation stuff, Scotts Creek, Caney Fork, Cullowhee Creek, certainly the Tuckaseegee, I think you want to be off all of those by noon.
Got it. And any good idea to maybe pop back out there about 5:30 or 6 and fish until dark?
Totally, absolutely. Deep Creek, especially those national park streams, throwing a light Cahill, really just a dry fly you can see, because that means it's also a dry fly that the fish can see, and a good presentation will get some fish to participate.
Yeah, absolutely. And so if we're not in a rainstorm doing the terrestrial game, what should folks be fishing these days?
I start the morning off with a blueing olive, certainly dry dropper. And then as the sun comes up, you can go into some bigger flies. Chubby Chernobyls are working on stock and wild streams alike. And under any hopper, or Chernobyl, or terrestrial, I'm going to tie an nymph on, and it's going to be a small one. It's not necessarily going to be like a Pat's rubber legs or anything like that, but maybe a Frenchie or a waltz, something like that, and go after it that way. 18 to 20 inches or so on that dropper, and I'm going to probably be 6X on the tippet there.
Yeah, got it. And of course, with it warming up, it means your smallmouth bite's going to be just getting better, right?
It is, yeah. It seems like the hot, dry summers, the smallmouth like them better. So that tends to work out to our favor in those situations. It doesn't help the trout situation, but the bass like it. So, your streamers, even in popper bite, has been pretty good. Even for other warm water species like the brim and whatnot, it's been a fun start to the summer season.
Well, there you go. And folks, we love questions at the Articulate Fly, and you can email them to us. You can send us a DM on social media. You can drop them in the comments to the social media posts. And if we use your question, I will send you some Articulate Fly swag, and we're in a drawing for something cool from the shop at the end of the season. And Dale, before I let you go go cool off and grab a bite to eat, why don't you let folks know your 3 locations, hours, and all that kind of good stuff?
Absolutely. So we are in downtown Waynesville at 110 Depot Street, and downtown Silva, 530 West Main, and downtown Bryson City at 3 Depot Street. Hours 8 a.m., 5 p.m., Monday through Saturday. And, of course, catch us online anytime, tuckflyshop.com. And also check out our revamped online store. So we just got a redesigned online store there for everyone to check out. And we can help you out. Let us know.
Yeah, it's very cool. And did I notice you've got a really great URL for that shop? Is it Fly Shop USA?
Not to be confused with Fly Shop USA, but yes, flyshopusa.com.
I mean, how is that not already taken?
I don't know, but I took it. It's for sale if anybody wants to offer the right price.
There you go. I saw that. I was like, there's no way that domain name was still out there, but guess it was.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, listen, folks, you owe it to yourself to get out there and catch a few. Tight lines, everybody. Tight lines, Dale.
You too, Marvin.